I am going to tell you about an idea that I have for sharing one of the books on the Children's Choice Award online, and it comes from one of the links in the activities that we have online. So if you go to the Washington Children's Choice Award page, if you click on the 2021 nominees, you will get a page that looks like this, and you can scroll down to find the book you want. And I found Tiny Feet Between the Mountains, and that's the one I want. I'm going to click on it and it'll jump me down to the activities packet and different links for this book. We're going to go to this one, The Korean Tiger, Icon of Myth and Culture from the National Museum of Korea. So this is an online exhibit that was made during the when they had the Olympics in Korea. And it's kind of long and you wouldn't want to use the whole thing with kids, but I really like how they have it set up for online. And it would be great to do as an online teaching activity because they zoom in. So I'm going to just kind of click through until I find an image I like. So I can just click and you can see that it zooms into different parts to talk about different things, but I'm going to keep going until I get to one. Keep going. Okay. Maybe not this one. This one. Okay. So maybe I decide I want to talk to kids about this one and we could have a discussion about whether he looks scary or whatever and talk about the different things. And then I can choose what to ask more questions about by what they zoom in on. So for example, they zoom in on the inscription up here and you could talk about, well, what does the Korean language look like? How does that look? So you could use that as a talking point. And then they talk about the brush strokes, and you could talk about, can you imagine putting all those lines in there? And then you could talk about the facial expression. You can have kids make that facial expression. Can they do their eyes that way? Let's see if I can find another one to show you. I'm going to zip through. There's all sorts of different options. Okay, here's another one that's a little different. It's kind of cool. Maybe you could talk about, well, what do you think the story of this picture is? There's all these tigers and then there's these birds. Do you think they're attacking the tiger? And then you can say, okay, well, let's see. What do they zoom in? They zoom in on the birds. What do you notice? They zoom in on the inscription. And then the inscription again, and it'll tell you a little bit more about here. So it talks about how it tells a story. And then there's a little bit more about what you're seeing in the picture. So there are all sorts of different pictures in the exhibit, but I think it would be a really cool way to have kids be able to go see something different, and also to talk about that fact that they talk about in the book that tigers no longer live in Korea, but they did originally. And these are pictures from the time that they actually lived in Korea. I hope you enjoy this idea and might try it with your kids. I think it would make a great online activity.